groups on LinkedIn and Facebook, please, as well?
Well, here we go. Let's unmute ourselves. Guys.
Do you want to have a slide so I can make you co-host?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I'll make you co-host and then you can...
I want to provide so much value in the next 10-15 minutes. It blows your minds, and that it helps you increase your profitability and helps you with your businesses. So Ted just asked a really good question. What's the value of groups in LinkedIn? Very little. Your personal page always has more juice. That's the truth of the matter. They've been dead for years. Now, I was at the Social Day. It's called Social Day. It's the biggest social media conference in Europe. And the guy stood up as a LinkedIn expert. He said, the responsibility of your LinkedIn page is all your staff. So if you have more than one staff, totally get them engaged into that. And that they should, you're certainly after B2B. Ted, thank you. Was that? Did that answer your question?
Well, we get a lot of engagement in our Facebook group, actually.
Facebook groups are great. You said LinkedIn. If my hearing needs changing, I don't know. Facebook pages, I love. That's where you build community. Yes, totally agree. Am I correct?
If anyone isn't a member, you should join that group, please. So I'm going to shut up, Garry. It's all yours.
No, I like to be challenged. So in the next 15 minutes, if you want to challenge me on anything I say, please just unmic yourself and let's go, because we're going to get the best out of that. So just a little bit about me. So why do I deserve to talk about this? In 2004, I opened my own opticians. And it was a bit of a distant dream to set up such a complicated business. And in 2004, social media was just becoming it was starting to be embryonic. It just was born. And I used Facebook for my opticians, and the rest of the industry said, what a waste of time. Now, I took this business from nothing to 1.5 million. Did pretty well. And Facebook have recognized me as the first optician in the world to use social media. So that's pretty good. And I sit on meta.com for that. But about 5 years ago, just before COVID, I thought I'm going to take this social media stuff really seriously. And because other people were asking me, they were saying, look, could you do my social media? And I would say, no, I'm too busy. But how much would you pay? And then now I'm in this position where I own an opticians. I own several things. And then I also do social media for others. I have a team. Now, to give really good value, Ted, did you know this about me? I am the judge in this year's Business Book Awards. Did you know that?
Know that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Good.
And I have been the judge specifically for marketing for 2 years, and I'm going into my 3rd year. So to start this talk off, I'm going to give you some serious value. I just had a quick look at my library, and I thought I'd give up some of the best. So the first one I'm gonna recommend, and this is if someone asks you, what do you want for Christmas? Buy knowledge, people. So the first one is called Guerrilla Marketing. How to get the most out of your pound. It's been updated. This is a first edition. They are on their 3rd edition. So Guerrilla Marketing, absolutely fantastic. So the next one, Good to Great. This looks at leadership and good businesses, and it compares good businesses to poor. Really, really good book. This was the first social media book written in this country by my friend. Her name's Penny Power. It's still as relevant today as it is ever.
Profit. Sorry, what's the name of that last book?
I'll go slower, sorry. Penny Power.
Yeah. You're 3 for 3 at the moment. You're 3 for 3.
3 for 3. This is a good one.
100% best book written.
This is a good one.
Love profit first.
So the accountants will probably tear their hair out of this one, but it talks about you not working for minimum wage, having a separate account for your profit. Great book. This one, funny enough, I was sitting on a plane to New York, and the guy sitting next to me was reading this. What got me here won't get me there. I was bought on the title. I love it. It's a great book, and it's about how your mindset has to shift. when you're below VAT threshold, you're on 75k and you're doing everything, it's a very different place to when you're on a couple of million. Love this book. Is this good for everyone? Am I wasting too much time talking about books? And that's the book I wrote. But there's loads I can find. Eat That Frog, Time Management, How to Sell to the Affluent. Brilliant book. So I will, in this round robin thing, I'll put the books that I highly recommend you read. Does that sound good? Some feedback?
It's good.
Any chance I could ask for a few emotions? That you get it on your screen. If it's any good, give me that. And then challenge me. I really want to be challenged.
Review.
Okay.
What's the worst book you read this year?
Oh, there's a few. Because when you're the judge, they give you 50 books to read within one day. And you have to pretend you're in an airport and you're flicking through them. So there were some crap ones.
Name and shame them. Come on, let's go.
I can't. I'm a open mindset guy. I only remember the good ones.
Yeah, you copped out there, Gary.
I'll put it in the round robin. How about that? Because I know we're running out of time. I want to give a lot of value. And what might be quite interesting, everybody, put in the comments what your favourite book of all time is. Not make it business-like.
Business-like, yeah.
Yeah, not Romeo and Juliet. Something. That might be quite interesting. I might see one there that I haven't read. So, marketing. I was a young man studying science at university, and it was a lovely summer's day. And all the doors were open of my university. And I walked past the marketing lecture, and I thought, I'm on the wrong course. This is really cool. They were talking about segmentation and knowing your avatar, and I felt glued to listening to that. And I didn't realize at the time that was my natural calling. I love marketing. I love it. So the definition, and this is my definition of marketing, is keeping your customers and getting new ones. Einstein said, if you overcomplicate stuff, it's just going to go wrong. If you understand the topic, you're going to get it. So let's just repeat that. Marketing is keeping your clients. So if you guys, here's your opportunity to keep your clients over the festive period. I will be sending every single client that pays me money a Christmas card, a gift, and a free tap and trust card, because I want to keep them. And keeping them happy over Christmas is a really important thing. Apple spend a lot of money on keeping your clients. It costs more money to get a new one than it does keep them. So there's my first tip. Seriously, your clients now's a good opportunity to put something in the post. Old fashioned, I know. Handwrite that Christmas card. Don't send it by JPEG. No good. Right. So Ted, I might ask you, because I'm concentrating, if there's any questions that come in, would you mind I'm seeing some great books here. I'm very proud of everyone. Ted, if there's any questions for me, would you jump in?
Let's, if somebody has question, let's put the hand on, on the screen, yeah?
Sensible as always, Mia. All right, so marketing. It's keeping the clients, getting new ones. And now, if we're after getting new ones, we have to know our target audience. Agreed? Does everyone agree? And it's not as complicated. We're going to answer your question right now, Trevor. Target audience. It's more complex than it sounds, but don't overcomplicate it. Trevor, what's your question, sir?
Unmute yourself, please. You're muted.
Yeah, thanks, Mia. I've had various excursions into different areas to promote, obviously, private health. And I've gone through the advertising, exhibiting, networking. Social media is something I've neglected because I'm over 30. I'm a bit of a dinosaur.
I'm 50, sir. You're a spring chicken.
Yeah, you look 20, so you're okay. So I don't know whether it's too young for the show, but no, seriously though. So I'm interested in sort of outlay. I don't want you to be specific because this is your profession now. But in terms of an outlay to get a reasonable profile with social media, where someone like myself wouldn't want to be actively engaging every single day because it's not what I'm used to. I'd like to be able to say hey Gary, I'm going to park this with you. You please now manage it. So what sort of for a reasonable amount of money, you can get some exposure on a repetitive basis that I should really be countering in starting all this. Because I don't do Facebook. I've got a LinkedIn page. I wouldn't know which end of the page I should look at first. So just looking at social media generally, as an expert in this.
Okay, I'm going to be incredibly authentic with you all. It will not work if you're hiding behind the brand. So even if you hired me and you said, here's a ton of money, I'd like to do well on social media, and you said, I'm not going to be involved, I'm just going to give you money. It's the same as saying you go to the gym and you're going to work out. Let's ask our friend Ed, how many people pay gym membership and get really bulked up, or pay your fees and do nothing?
No, I understand the principle.
So as long as we got that.
I'm saying over a year, what, even for a reasonable exposure, should I be expecting to?
Well, there's a formula. The accountants in the room were like this. There's a formula. So 10% of your turnover is the absolute maximum you would spend on marketing. The least amount is about 2%. When you look at businesses that go bankrupt, I was obsessed, Trevor, obsessed with insolvency. When I opened my business, my wife was pregnant and I was really under a lot of pressure. Why do businesses go bankrupt? Well, apart from director burnout and bad cash flow, it was a lack of marketing. Now, Trevor, so if you say, look, let's just say, for instance, you spend 3% of your turnover on marketing, maybe less than 0.5% should be on social media and digital marketing. It's a holistic approach that you take to marketing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Is your wife's pregnancy finished now?
She's done. 4 children later. We're good.
Excellent.
My oldest is at university, which is unbelievable. Trevor, was that a good answer? So, I think there's
It wasn't actually. It wasn't what I was expecting.
Right. So
in terms of percentages, of course, your turnover is not necessarily related to your marketing. So my marketing has been spent on advertising. That's not been very good for it. Exhibiting, I have to wait and see. Networking provides a certain. So of course I've done, but the social marketing, which is what you're specialising in, something I've neglected, and I realise that's a very important platform for any business. So what I was saying is, what really, forgetting the turnover, it's not. What you're saying, if that's your turnover, this is what you should be allocating. That's very simplistic. I'm just saying, to get a reasonable presence, I know that I have to interact continuously throughout the year. What should I be putting aside? What should I be considering in order to embark on something, with yourself?
If it was with ourselves, our least expensive package. Think about this: gold, silver, and bronze should be banned, right? So I say, look, a tidal pack. This is I'm trying to teach as well as. I'm not selling anything to anyone.
No.
So our best package is aspirational. If you're a £1 million turnover, and that one's called a tidal. The next one down is called a splash. This is really for £500,000 businesses. The next one's down a ripple, and they're all based on water and the amount of energy you put into the water. And then sprinkle, obviously, that's the tiniest one. And so that at the top, it's
It sounds like a medical condition.
So £2,000 is for £1 million company, and of course you that's very holistic. It's not just social media. And the least expensive is 247, and all of them get you lead generation. All of them gain you new customers. So if that helps, 247 that gets you off the mark.
We can have a separate conversation.
Yeah.
What are the numbers in between, Gary?
All right. So 247, 446, 627. And Ted, the people that approached me wanted the very best one that said yes. And when can we start?
Great.
Brilliant.
Daniel, have you got a question?
Yeah, I know we're very like-minded about marketing business, aren't we, Gary? So just adding to the conversation, really, not so much of a conversation, but I think getting your input on this will help everyone else, is that marketing is an investment into the business. You expect a return on it, don't we? If you're doing it organically, you've got to understand the time you're paying yourself to do it organically. Whether going through someone like yourself, you're going to get much more of a return, aren't you, at times, rather than just doing it organically. There's a big difference by going into paid advertising as well, isn't there? And you can get a much quicker rate of business coming in. So I was just wondering your opinion on how you approach conversations versus paid versus organic.
What a great question. What a great question. So imagine.
You texted me earlier.
I'll slip you a $5. So here's the situation. We want people to come on our websites. Again, there's a few percentages. To be in marketing, you've got to be a little bit analytical and a little bit creative and lots in between. So forgive me if I'm throwing some numbers. 2% of every single person that goes on your website will convert to a lead. So you need 1,000 people there. You're lucky if you get 10. So what's shocking to a lot of people is how few people go on their website. So the mass is there. If you go and pay for someone to go on your website, or you pay for somebody to come onto your Facebook group, and they look a little bit deeper at your Google reviews. So you've paid somebody to come onto your website, you've got spelling mistakes there, you've got broken links, it's awful. And then they go to your Google reviews and you've got a mixture of bad and poor and not so good. And the last time you updated your Facebook page was 6 weeks ago. You're actually paying for traffic. They're going to do their due diligence and leave again. I speak to lots of people that have tried paid ads, didn't get their house in order, and just wasted their money. You've got to imagine you've got guests coming round and they're going to look into every detail.
It's 25 to 2. Do you want to time?
Daniel, did that answer the question, sir?
It did, man. Yeah, thank you very much.
Don't waste your money on paid ads if you haven't got your house in order. And Rachel's put her house up, hand up, Ted and Ed.
Ed was first.
Cheers, Ted. Cheers, Gary. So yeah, my question is, like, I do a lot of content, but most of the stuff I post is like, I just kind of post on the fly, it's ad hoc. It works. I kind of feel like I'm winging it, though, to be honest. Next year, I really want to kind of craft, like, I'd like to plan my content the entire year and have like a proper campaign going. What would be, how would, like, for a business like mine, as you know, fitness business, what would be a good way to kind of plan a campaign for 2024?
What a great question. Let's make sure we got our low hanging fruit. So do you ask for a call to action when you do the post? Do you say, look, come here, sign up here, join my email list? You do that. So that's great. Yeah. So lead generation, do you have an email list?
Yes.
Perfect. And what software do you use for your email list?
I use a software called Lead Connector or Go High Level.
So I guess you can see who's opened it more than once.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. So that's a really good way. So I would say one of the best ways of having a very successful year next year is build that email list, be consistent with it, use all your social media to put into your email list, so you're repurposing it all. Think about some of the dates that are coming up, and it's a thing called trend jacking. So Valentine's is an easy one, Christmas is an easy one, but what do you do in spring? Well, spring is the time you start to take your heavy jumpers off and start to wear t-shirts, and you get into the psyche of the customer. So for me, Ed, I would think about really focusing in and being brave and having a niche. So it might be, and I'm going to be really specific here. You might search for women that have menopause, that are 51, live in Wood Green, and are disabled. They're in a wheelchair. You've gone really, really, really. The more niche you are, the more specific. And if you all remove the word anybody, well, I do everybody. I do all business owners. Well, you're going wrong. You've got to be that specific. So, and I'm about to, can I share my screen? Because Ed has done me a big favor to really help me hone in on that. So this was something I did earlier in the year, so I just thought I'd recycle it. So if you're after people over 30, really, the best form of communicating with them is Facebook. Text messages are good, podcasts are great, community Facebook groups, and they like the phone. They're all right with picking up the phone. That's your much older person. They really care about health and well-being and community. So you're not going to find these people on TikTok necessarily. They might be there, but you've got less likelihood of thinking about that. So these people are on YouTube and Facebook, and they love an email. They don't mind doing that. So these people are young adults. Now, young adults have stopped their Instagram, their email too. They definitely listen to podcasts way more than you realise. To start a podcast, and they still like traditional posts. You can catch them through there. So millennials, young adults, these guys are different. They're a different breed of human being, really. They're entitled a little bit. They like spending money on themselves. So think about that. Like these people will spend £100 a session, no problem. How you find them is through Instagram, Snapchat, texting. They do listen to podcasts as well, and they're very influenced by not the traditional celebrity. They're influenced by influencers that they look up to. And then very young people, if this is your demographic, TikTok, Instagram's the way. They definitely love being influenced by somebody that you wouldn't realize. So I hope that makes sense. Now, the thread that lines through that is everybody watches YouTube, whether you're young or old, whether it's to make the perfect cup of tea or to how to get yourself in shape. So we can literally make a YouTube video and have it first on Google within an hour if it's done properly. So YouTube is for everyone, and I if it's your New Year's resolution, get yourself a YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nice one, Gary.
Ted, who's next?
No, go for Rachel next, please.
Lovely Rachel.
Hi Gary.
Heart-centered Rachel.
I wanted to ask, I'm in the process at the moment of migrating my online business from one platform to a new platform. So I'm not doing any paid advertising at the moment because, exactly as you said, I feel like I need to get my house in order. I had long COVID, so I've kind of been just managing the things that I already had booked in rather than doing all the normal work that I do on my kind of marketing and stuff like that. So I want to get my house in order before I do the push. But I'm also well aware that because I haven't been active on my socials like I was, my engagement rate, all of that stuff has dropped hugely. So I'm starting to just post more regularly and kind of do some generic stuff. But what I want to do is to see if there's a way that I can either build up like a wait list ready for January or something like that. So that when everything's in order, which should be in the next 4 to 6, hopefully 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks, I can really hit the ground running, get their ads running, I'll have all my freebies and all that stuff all sorted, and everything will be clean and in a line. But would you recommend focusing on, at the moment I have TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, my own podcast and Facebook, and I'm just one person, and it's really hard juggling those things alongside the delivery of, today for example I'm here and then I've got a big presentation that I'm doing for a company, and tomorrow I've got clients most of the day, so it's quite difficult to stay on top of all of those platforms well. So do you think I'm better putting all my eggs in one basket for now, for example, and just go, right, I'm just going to focus on Instagram, for example, and I'm just going to smash out reels, stories, build that, and then grow as I can? Or do you think it's better to just be a bit more sporadic but across?
Well, I'm gonna try and give you the very best answer that I can. So
Okay.
if you can invest a tiny bit of money, £25, there's some software called Socially Sorted. You make one piece of content and it goes to every single platform. That could be an answer for a month or two. It just goes to everything. You do one post, goes to the lot. Brilliant. Right, so that could be an answer short term. But have you guys heard of Expert Empires? Have you heard of this thing? All right, so Ed has. The guy that owns that came up with this little formula, and I found it life-changing. He said, and I don't know, hopefully it's his work, but he said $10 tasks have to be outsourced. So you're better off giving a bookkeeper and an accountant the work, because it's going to tie up your brain. Mowing the lawn, is that really a good idea? Like, just send it out. Those $10 tasks, a little bit of admin, your social media stuff, $10 stuff. Outsource. Then he said there's $100 stuff, £100 stuff that really you need someone a little bit more technical to understand, and then you outsource that too. So to just get rid of the £100 stuff. But there are things that only you can do, Rachel, and that we call that the £1,000 tasks. If you want to scale your business, you're going to have to give up the power and the reins to somebody else to get bigger. Like I say this sincerely, two £2 million businesses I've built, and I am not the cleverest guy in the room by far, but like, I've got multiple sclerosis, which is, some of you might know that's a really difficult thing to have. I've got 4 kids, I'm still married. How have I done this? I've done it. Have I done it by? I've done it by scaling, by giving $10 tasks out. I don't do that. I don't do the $100 tasks. I do the big stuff, the strategy stuff. And if your brain hasn't got time to spend an hour just to think about your business and you work on it instead of in it, that fine old saying, you'll plateau. You'll never get above 70. So below VAT threshold, I don't know. I won't ask you all. How many of you are below VAT? So under 85. It's the hardest thing to get from 0 to 85. The good news is from 85 to 1 million's easy, because then you start getting staff, you start scaling. It really is. That first bit is the shit where you're doing 10 hours a day and you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed with all this stuff. But if the more you outsource, the more you do it, and be smart about your marketing budget. Put aside 2-3%. And think about it holistically. Don't just put it in SEO or pay-per-click or social media.
I've got a full plan for all that stuff. I know exactly what I want to do. Like once I get my paid marketing, I've got a really good structure, I think, and plan for, you know, getting people in on like I've written a free how to use EFT at home guidebook. I'm going to make loads of content around EFT and then get people into that and then sell from there, kind of thing.
Does this help, Rachel? That when you get paid the least, you are a generalist.
Yeah.
When you get paid the most, you are famous. On the train the other day, I was standing there. I looked at the lady looked at me. We made eye contact, and she said, "Do you want to sit down?" I said, "No, I'm good." She said, "You look tired. Like you're really famous in Enfield. Like come and sit." I thought, Jesus, I cannot walk around the borough of Enfield without being recognised and people saying hello and hugging me. Like, I guess I'm a little bit famous. I'm a little bit famous when it comes to the optical market because I'm an optician. When you're famous, you earn the most amount of money, and it's never been easier to be famous. So Rachel, get on other people's podcasts. Get yourself out there.
I must tell you, Garry, I advertise in a newspaper, weekly newspapers, distributed free in Finchley and around different areas. And I put my little picture in. I've got a little ad every single. I'm in there 52 weeks a year. And people stop me sometimes. I'm queuing up for, I don't know, baker, butcher, candlestick maker. They say, "Oh, you're that bloke at the newspaper."
I love it.
Really?
I love it.
I'm like, but it is. And people sometimes ring me and say, "Well, yeah, I've been meaning to rip me." It does. It's the exposure. But it's interesting, Rachel, what you've got. You seem to have a very good plan in place here to launch next year.
You do.
Relaunch.
And trust is the cornerstone of all marketing. So if you can gain trust, so you can have, I don't know if you guys know the trust equation. Harvard University, the MBA, the most famous marketing degree, you need to be pretty smart and have a lot of money to get on there. I snuck in one of the lectures, and it was a webinar over COVID. Snuck in, and it literally said there's this great big long equation for trust, but let's simplify it. It was visibility first. So if nobody knows you exist, you are not going to get the credit that you deserve. So first thing is visibility. Then once they've discovered you, you then need credibility. So that's like lots and lots of Google reviews, you've been published, so on and so forth. Then you get the trust. And that's why I'm so excited about these trust cards, because it builds your trust very, very quickly. Does that help?
Garry, can I ask you as well, with Google, what's your thoughts on the future of Google? Because I feel like now that there's things like TikTok, which a lot of people are using as a search engine instead of Google, and there's ChatGPT, which obviously people are using instead of Google. Do you think Google's as important as it has been, or do you think it's gonna not die? I don't think Google's gonna die, but I do think it's probably going to be less important.
I think that's a fantastic question. So I'm going to give you a poker analogy, even if you don't play poker. The chip leader on the poker table, the one with the most money, really can dictate what's going on. Facebook were really clever because they had a lot of money. They bought Instagram, right? And then they keep buying WhatsApp. It's not their idea. They just keep buying it out. So at the moment, ABC, that's what Google are on the stock exchange, have a lot of money. A lot of money. So the fact is that they're a bit afraid of TikTok, a little bit. So what they've done is they've said, everyone that makes a YouTube channel, within 30 seconds, I'll let you be first page on Google. Very clever. And hardly anyone knows that. Like, I literally can make a 30-second advert, it'll be top of Google, because it's scared of its rival. Who's to say that Google won't buy out all its rivals? Currently, they're the chip leader. They're the place that people search for your services. So if I was to say, where do I go? Where do I go to find a little bit more work-life balance? Finchley, and your name's first, and I see that it's not just first. It's a thing called Google domination, where you're there lots of times. You're there lots of times on the first page, and you've got reviews. I'm coming to you. I'm not going to TikTok to find business. I'm going to TikTok to be entertained. So you need to be very, very Machiavelli on there. So you want to say, hey, I'm going to entertain you, but I also fancy getting your business too. It's a skill.
It's difficult, isn't it? If you're aiming at Gen Z, something like 75% of Gen Z use it instead of Google now.
Well, when you say use it, they don't type in what's Pizza Hut's number down the road. They do not do that. They go on there because they're having fun.
Type in things like things to do in London, or local dentist or whatever, and they look for reviews on there.
Absolutely.
And I think that, I don't know.
And they're spending serious money, Rachel. They're spending serious money on there as well. Because I was one of the first people in the country to have a TikTok shop. Really effective. Depends. It's horses for courses, Rachel. And I wouldn't worry just yet. I think for your industry, like for Ed, I think Ed should be right all over that. Some of you, yes. Some of you, no.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Gary.
Was that helpful?
Also, is your email still gary@lovingsocialmedia.com?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to message you about the socially sorted thing.
Okay, yeah. And I make nothing from that, by the way. If anything, I'm taking business away from myself. It's ideal for someone like Rachel. She's got her plan. She knows what she's doing. She's lacking a bit of time. You press a button and you literally, it goes to every single platform.
I used it before and it was really good.
It's very good. Ted,
thanks.
How are we doing for time? Is this boring?
You okay?
Thank you for bringing me in. My arm's beginning to ache. So before I ask my question, I just want to endorse something you said about paid ads. We've got a few members that provide paid ads, and one of them actually came to us and said, I need more leads. And I said, well, paid ads? So obviously that wasn't working for them, sort of endorsing what you said. So
about the paid ads, we've got this new member who joined in business show, a really successful lady, and her business is paid ads school. Can you mute yourself, whoever it is?
It's Chris.
No, I just wanted to say this paid ads schools, and she will be giving free seminars about, because she might say it's not for everybody, but she might have a tips and teach you about these paid ads, because sometimes it could be too expensive, and how Garry said, if you're not sorted, then it's no point. But anyway, Ted, over to you.
Thanks. So the question, you mentioned ChatGPT. We've got a member who you may have met at Excel. He's in AI. Very interesting business. He's currently running a LinkedIn campaign for us. What do you think about those? I think it depends on the quality of the messages that you upload. And because there's a lot of them coming now, and you can see they're automated. And also, what do you think about chatbots on websites? He's built a chatbot on our website. We did an event in Harrow, about 40 people there. We didn't have to do any selling. He put the chatbot on the screen. People were asking it questions about YBC. It was answering them, and 3 people joined without us saying anything.
How old were they, Ted? Out of curiosity.
7 and 9.
40-ish, I guess.
Yeah.
This is my personal opinion about chatbots. They frustrate the crap out of me. I know that they're a chatbot. I just want to speak to a human. So they have their place. I think they're very, very useful. AI is coming. It's out of the box. The horse has bolted. LinkedIn are the first algorithm to use AI. So yes, LinkedIn, AI, all makes sense. Be as authentic as you can, everybody. People buy authentic, real emotions. And if they think that a computer's written it, it's not going to land as well as it being a human. And it's just, I don't know about you guys. When I phone and it says press 1 for dentistry, 2 for podiatry, 3 for a brain surgeon, I hate that. I just want to speak to a human because of the age I am. These grey hairs are that. But there's younger people that love that chat box. They don't want to speak to anyone. Don't ask me to talk to a human. So horses for courses. Ted, that wasn't a great answer back, but it's a yes, yes, yes. And being a marketeer, you've got to segment your crowd.
And my last point, it probably is something for you to answer. Lots of us are doing, email marketing campaigns, and you get a minimal open rate. But
what is your open rate? In this country, the open rate's 20%. So if you're getting around the average, great. If you're getting less than the average, you're doing something wrong.
I'm not convinced about the analytics though when you look at it, because there's people. I'll have a look and tell you when you've opened some of our emails, and then we can talk about it. But there's a guy that we know who does text marketing campaigns, and 98% of texts get open. We always open our text, don't we?
Well, Ted, let me tell you something. I for charity, I was put in prison for cancer research, right? So last year, for cancer research, they put me in prison. It was the same jail cell as Ronnie Craig.
And we've been the same one.
We've been in that cell as well.
In the hotel, yeah, we've been there.
In Shoreditch, yeah?
Shoreditch, right? So they chucked me in jail, and they said, you're not getting out until you've made £1,000. So I made the £1,000 really quickly, within an hour. And then I looked at the analytics. I looked, well, where did all they come from? And 90% were from my personal contacts on WhatsApp. Very few were from email and from Facebook. It's just like if I broke down this afternoon in Potter's Bar and I put out a message on social media, who's going to pick me up? Who do you think is going to come? Like if I use my own personal, so it's your sphere of influence. Think about that. So your own personal contacts will always work better. So Ted's right. If you can send out a broadcast for those that are under 75,000, the best thing you can do today is do a broadcast list and send it to every single person with a 3-liner. I do this. Do you know anyone that would need those services? Inbox me. And don't be afraid of rejection.
Quick funny story about when we got locked up in those prison cells. We were dressed in prison gear, so the stripy things. We were let out for lunch. So we're having lunch in the restaurant in that it's like a boutique hotel, isn't it? Unbeknown to us, the footballers from PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, were playing away to Arsenal that night, so it's very handy. They were staying in that hotel, and they were taking photos of us.
I love that. So I'm going to wrap things up because I'm conscious it was only 15 minutes, but I'm going to give you the best piece of advice at the end. So the dessert. Are you ready for the dessert? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. So during COVID, I had short hair like this. It was quite short. And then at the end of COVID, my hair was long. And what I studied over those really year and a half was Google Business Profile. Is everyone familiar with Google Business Profile? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Right. Well, the best return on investment, in my humblest opinion, for free and the lowest amount of energy you need to use is Google Business Profile. And so I'm gonna a couple of minutes. I'm gonna go through it. So what is Google Business Profile? Well, if Facebook and social media had the baby with Google, that's what it would look like. It's social media and ranking. Sounds good? So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in the chat where the link is so you can find out if you've got a profile. So when you go to Google Maps, if you haven't got yourself registered in Google Maps, the link I've just sent you is where you get registered. Now, completely for free, you will get a website for free. I worked with a personal fitness instructor. This kid was really nice. It wasn't Ed, but Ed is way better than this kid. So he said, look, I'm just starting out. What do you recommend I do first? I said, well, you need the Google Business Profile. We set up the Google Business Profile, and because I've got MS, I said to him, say you train someone with MS. The first day, he got a phone call. When I'm with my wife, she doesn't really want a full-time job as a yoga teacher. She just wants to dip in and out, and she's happy with the old phone call. All she's done is her Google Business Profile, and she'll get one phone call a week from Google, somebody asking her if she does yoga, and I love it. I'm in the car and we're driving down and the phone rings and I say, where did they hear about you? And it was Google. So it definitely bloody works. It will add at least 10-15 customers to you next year. So let's go through how to use it and what to do. Does that sound good to everyone? Okay, right, here we are. I'm excited all for you because the chances are you're not even doing this. So if you haven't got a Google Business Profile, that's the link. That's how you get it. Now, because it wants to make sure you're real, it will call your mobile number. When you fill in all the bits and pieces, you put your mobile number and somebody from Google actually calls you. Incredible, right? So you set it up. Now let's share my screen and go from there.
Garry, did you share the link?
Yeah, I put it in the chat. I can do it again if you want.
Can't see there.
I can see it.
All right, well, this is the link. Let me put it again, just to make sure everyone's got it. I only sent it to Daniel. Sorry, Daniel.
Okay, yeah, well done.
I'm all right. I've got it.
Daniel had exclusivity for half an hour, for 10 minutes. Right, so...
It's excellent what Gary's talking right now. It's the quickest way to grow your business.
Oh, and it's free.
Like what Gary's talking right now is utter gold. If you haven't got it, do this.
It's
today.
really good. It's really, really good. All right, so there's a thing called a search with intent.
Gary, can I just ask one question?
Go for it. Am I boring everyone? I don't want to overdo it. I get very passionate and carried away.
If you've already got one, you don't set up a new one, just edit the old one, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
So a search with intent is literally, I want to buy a hamburger now near me, right? Or I want an aloe vera based product. It's really honing in on an intent. I want an optician's in Enfield. So I'm going to put in social media Enfield because that's where I'm based. And we get about 1 or 2 clients a month from this search. So it says social media Enfield. And the first thing you see is my Google Business Profile. And you can all do this as well. It works anywhere you are in the world. We come up first and we're dominant there. It's our business profile. You've got something called a snippet here. Snippet. And then as you go down, you see my Facebook is first. If you speak to web designers, they say search engine optimization can only be done by web design. What a lot of crap. That's not true. Literally, it's the hardest thing to get first is your website. Social media, so Enfield Council, I can't do much about that. So there's my LinkedIn. There's a rival. There I am again. There I am again. There I am again. Now, so it's really interesting. Now, you see these subheadings there. You see those, everyone? It says images, news, video, reviews. You see all that? They're called spiders. So they work for Google, and they're tireless. They work tirelessly for Google, and everything together makes the search. So we'll just click on images just for fun. And if you type in social media Enfield, look, I'm first. There's me and my team. There's me. I'm pretty much dominating that. And then if I click video, what's going to happen? Oh, there I am. Every single one's me. All right. So think about the spider. The spider is hungry. And if you want to be top on Google, you got to feed it with its food. And its food is news stories, it's images, and this is for another time. I don't want to overwhelm you, right? So that's kind of a general gist of how you get to top. Now, when you get your Google business profile, it will give you three. I'm seeing this because I'm the admin of it. So when I see it, it tells me the first three things that are the most important. Now, Rachel, I don't know if you're in your one. Your one might say there's no picture of the outside. You haven't given me your opening hours of Christmas. Oh, you've got a review that you haven't answered. Those three things it's prompting you to do. It wants you to do those first. That's really important. The next thing is edit profile. This is shocking. I look after a loft conversion company. And they hired somebody from India to look after their SEO. And he said to me, Gary, driving me mad. I'm getting lots of work from Putney, but we're in Palmer's Green. So I had a little look at their Google business profile. And you're actually allowed 15 areas. And of course, because they were in India, they didn't know the difference between Putney and Palmer's Green. These are all the areas I'm doing. And it just wasn't good. Those small details were lost. So make sure your business profile is up to date. So these are all the things we do. You get one name. Now, if I change that to the word Enfield, that isn't what it says in Company's House, but that's a real sure way of accelerating your business profile. It's a risk though, because you could get told off. So you fill in your description, you put in when you were open, you put your social profiles on there, so they're there. You put your area, you put your opening hours, and so on and so forth. So this only needs to be done once a year. So you tidy that up once a year. Wow, what a return! The next thing you need to do once a week, this is only quick, is that you check that you haven't got any reviews. So if you get a Google review and you don't answer it quickly, Google mark you down for that. They tell you off. So this is my Google review, and if anyone was kind enough to give me one for this talk, that would be amazing. That's how quick and easy it is to get the link for your review. A lot of people don't know where it is. I'll come back. So there's the review. If someone gives me a review, you'll see it will ping up in a red mark. So that comes up there. So edit profile is very important. Read the review. Any second now, hopefully someone will give me a review. It will show red. So I must reply to that quickly. This is messages I get from the public. Brilliant. But where I want you to think about is adding in an update. Now, when you add an update and you do this once a week, it becomes super effective. You get right to the top of Google. So you get to add in an update. And you might write a description. So we'll use, can I use Ed again? Sorry. So Ed might say something along the lines of, too much turkey, too much Christmas pudding. Deal with it before it gets to a problem. Let me help you lose weight quickly. Blah, blah, blah. A nice picture. Now, this is the bit that people miss out. There's a call to action button here. Now, if you press the one that says call now, you will get more phone calls. If you get the one that says order online, you'll get more traffic on your website. So learn more is a URL link. Sign up. This is all free, people. How can we not be using this? So that needs to be done once a week. You're allowed to do an offer and it lasts for 3 months. So this only needs to be done once every 3 months. And the great thing about Pixel, that's like the Velcro that sticks to your website, is that this is only seen to new customers. So if you've never been to your website before, this will pop up. Try going onto your TGI Friday. Say, where's my local TGI Friday? The first thing that will pop up is a 10% coupon. They use this very effectively. So you might add a date. So you put 3 months. Again, you only need to do that every 3 months. And then if you have an event, you can put up an event too. So that is my whistle-stop tour of Google Business Profile. Fascinating world. Small businesses are not using it, nowhere near how effective it is. And for the price of less than 60, 70 pounds a week, I'll do it all for you. Me and my team will do it all for you.
How much a week?
Yeah, 70 quid a week, we'll do that all for you. And there's a money back guarantee. If we're shit, I'll give you all your money back.
Gary, that was more than brilliant. I have to go to the medical appointment to town. Thanks very much, guys. Lovely to meet you, but I do have to rush. Thanks very much.
Gary,
Bye.
can I chuck in?
Have a great week, everyone.
Gary, really great. I'll chuck in the Q&A, which you didn't mention, is also really, really good at boosting your Google ranking. And I know Gary will agree with this. If you imagine the 30 most questions you're asked in your business, put those questions into Google and write the answer in there, and it will boost your ranking incredibly well. And you just, any regular question coming in, and I know Gary's completely agree with this, it will do exactly what Gary's saying. It's all for free.
It's very exciting. Daniel, you know your stuff, sir.
Like you did, boy. I read
Gary, me and Ted, we don't know this stuff at all. I think we do have a Google Business Profile when you go on your business community, but there is always like some weird picture on the right side. We never put them in, and they.
There, Gary, if you want to look, do a search for.
They're like 5-year-old.
It says, right.
But we didn't know we can amend it.
Some people are saying this business doesn't exist, and
So during COVID, Google were shutting down businesses. They were saying it doesn't exist. So what we need to do is get ownership of that. It's quite bloody scary that I can get ownership of your account if you haven't make claim of it. So what is your Google Business Profile? Why?
When you go to your business community,
Yeah.
your
there's
business
right side.
UK.
But we saw something what happened like naturally through, SEO or something. We didn't know you can edit it.
All right, so look, I'm going to do a live demonstration of claiming. I'm going to claim their Google Business Profile. How scary is that? Here we go. So I tried to claim Harrods when it first came up, and it was quite funny. All right, so this is the Google Business Profile for this situation. It says suggest an edit. Now your Google Business Profile, I'm going to go there.
It's wrong, even the telephone number is wrong there.
Oh my God, what's going on?
But I didn't know you can mend it.
All right, so this needs more investigation. Usually it's a lot. We'll figure it out. Usually just by going here.
Gary, the most worrying thing is sometimes when we see it, it said people are saying this business doesn't exist.
That's okay. We'll figure it out. I've met people that have been in the same position as Ted and Maya, and it's taken them years to figure out. This will take me 20 minutes. I'll be in. I'm like I've got this. A cat burglar.
And also, like the map says goes to Turkey, but we only based in the United Kingdom. There's so many things, but I didn't know I can edit.
Easy peasy.
That was the best presentation for me because I didn't have a clue. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm glad you liked it. I can talk for England, and I hope I haven't bored everyone. Marketing is the make or break of your business.
They don't say anything. You talk for England, but I've written
it's a very, very good presentation, Gary. Thank you.
I done it on a whim.
Gary, that was fantastic.
Thanks. Give us a Google review. I really appreciate it.
Gary, that was brilliant. I'm going to give you a Google review a bit later as well. I'm just kind of replying to a review as we speak because I left it a bit too long.
This is really. Can I give you a tip about that?
Yeah, go on.
So when you reply it, say, Thank you, Bob, for your recommendation. I really try to excel and be the best personal fitness coach in Enfield. Google has too much information to index, to swallow and digest, right? It's called indexing. One thing it index is your reply to the Google review. So the keywords that you use will then show that up on a review. And a lot of people approach me because they got bad reviews, and people do not leave bad reviews if they can see that you reply. If you leave it how it is, you're going to be more open to a bad review.
Okay, so his name is Americo. Thank you, Americo. Thank you for your kind words, Americo. I aim to be the best personal trainer in Enfield.
I love that. Yeah.
The personal trainer, Enfield, they're the key words I guess we're looking for, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's 3 types of SEO. There's the stuff you do on your website, that's called on page. What you're about to do is called off page. It's all the stuff you do out of your website, and then there's technical. So this is all part of SEO.
Yeah. Cool. We need to talk more about this, I think.
I know, Ed, and my belly hasn't got any smaller since I last spoke to you.
I know what my afternoon's going to consist of.
Yeah.
I've got on my. I know what else I have to do, but there is like more things to do. But we need to have a chat and.
$10 tasks, people.
Yeah, we'll book a meeting, you, me, and Ted, and we'll just definitely need to sort this out. Yeah. Fantastic.
Thank you, everyone. I hope I've added value.
I met Garry last year at the business show, and I've been following your work ever since. And obviously, we are local in Enfield, and I see you all the time as well. So, just love what you do, Garry. Keep up the good work, man.
You're kind. I tell you what, I am not the smartest person here. I'm the most imperfect human being you could meet. I'm not a brilliant at maths and English and talking and literally. And then 3 weeks ago, I was nominated for Most Inspiring Entrepreneur of the Year. If I can do this, you all can do it better than me. I just try hard and read a lot.
You're doing well.
Well done, Garry.
You can always do better.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for coming.
So there's a round robin to come. Please do reply. People might not recognise your email address, so please say who you are. Just a reminder, this is what I do. But no, thank you to Garry. And yeah, we'll see you all again soon. Yeah. Oh, to answer your question, Christmas is December the 11th.
Got it.
The Christmas meal.
It's on the website, and then there's no events for January yet because we need to go ahead with the new website and stuff. So it will be there after. So have a lovely afternoon. Thank you all for coming. It means a lot to us. If we don't see you in Christmas, have a lovely Christmas. But we will at least send you a couple of emails for that and stuff, and we'll be in touch. Enjoy yourself, look after yourself, and if you do eat a lot and drink a lot, then you know you've got Ed who can help you to shift these pounds. And we'll see you soon. Thank you for coming.
See you, everyone.
See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Been a pleasure. We'll see you soon.